Hi, I'm Vanessa Chelvan and welcome to The Motherload, a 5-part podcast series by the Straits Times. This is a space for honest conversations about the juggle, the 9 to 5, the 5 to 9, and everything in between. Real talk about navigating the mess and the magic of being a working mum. When I first found out I was pregnant, I cried angry tears. I had just finished my master's and it felt like my career was finally taking off. Honestly, it took me weeks to accept that I was going to become a mother. And then came the second shock. I was having twins. Something drastically shifted in me and I decided to quit my job. When the twins were about a year old, I went back to work and joined millions of other women in this daily juggle between career and carer, between being a good mother and a good employee. Can working moms truly have it all? Joining my balancing act today is Jacinth Liew.
Hi Vanessa, thanks for having me.
Of course. So Jacinth, you're a former teacher who dreamed of being principal, but your career priorities changed after you had your first child.
Yes.
And now you have a popular Instagram account, Our Little Play Nest. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I'm a positive parenting coach. So I empower parents with research-backed positive parenting strategies so they can better connect and communicate with their children.
Yeah.
And I realized that what I learned during teacher training very much aligned with how our children grow and develop. And if we can understand the developmental stages, what they go through, what they need, and how we can communicate with them, it makes parenting much easier.
And you do all this while wrangling your own kids, now in primary 6 and primary 4, right?
Yes.
PSLE year.
So there's a joke, right? I was telling my friends, we quit our 9 to 5 to work 24/7.
That is so true, actually. Yeah. Sometimes after a full weekend, I come to work and I'm like, this is...
It's really hard.
This is a break, kind of. I was hesitating. I was like, what if my boss is listening? This is a break coming to work on Monday. You talked a bit about your transition from Miss Liew to mum to parenting coach now. Was it worth it?
Wow. I think for sure it's worth it. I won't regret spending more time with my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not easy. It looks rosy.
Yeah.
And it seems like I have it all, but I don't.
That shift in identity, it is very real. And I feel like a lot of mums, feel it as they navigate, leaving work on maternity leave or coming back. When my boys were about 3 or 4, I quit my job. Because I was kind of feeling guilty. I wasn't spending much time with them. I wanted to be more present, right? I think that's what a lot of moms kind of grapple with. But when I did so, I struggled a lot. I thought, who am I now? I am only mama, which is the most important job in the world, right? But I think for me, I was just like, I also need something else.
I don't think we want to say that, staying at home is the way or working is the way. But both, it's a choice that we all make.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guilt will always be there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're working, you feel guilty about leaving your kids at home. If you're at home, you feel guilty that, you're not having that sense of purpose, identity. Your parents send you, to study and now you're just a stay-at-home parent. And it's
which is
not
actually
really
harder, I feel.
Yeah.
Parents come to you for coaching when they are at their limit. What are they actually describing to you?
So they will share that they are very overwhelmed, that they don't get help from their partners, and they are not able to regulate their own emotions as well. So we realize that even though we are parenting the child in front of us, we are actually parenting the inner child. Like how it was like when we were growing up, how our parents guide us. But we know whatever that we apply, right, it may not work. For our children now. It's because we are growing up in a very different world compared to then. Yeah, so these are some things that they really struggle a lot with. I think sometimes we just want everything. We want to be able to be very regulated, knowing how to set boundaries firmly, even deal with tantrums calmly, stay calm.
It's
right?
difficult.
It's so hard. Right?
Yeah.
And then having to work, rushing the kids out of the home to go to school and then going to work and then come back, work a second shift with the children.
Yeah.
So the overwhelm is very real. especially when they have like primary school going children where they have homework. So many of them will leave their kids at student care. And when the kids come back home, it's already like 6 o'clock. And then there's still the need to prepare meals, let them eat, deal with the meltdowns. Right,
It's a
because
lot to do
it's
in one
like
day.
noodles and not rice.
Yeah.
These things, right? And then putting them to bed. So it's like a constant mad rush.
Yeah.
It seems like we're trying to tick off that to-do list, put them to bed so they sleep early. And then there's no time to like play or hang out with them, to connect, which is really the most important part, right, of parenting, where you want to build this relationship with your kid. And if you go through the daily grind like that, you just miss the joy
Yeah.
of being a parent. And if we're not intentional especially, then the time just flies. So we really need to build that relationship from young. But then we know the reality is with so much on your mind and on the plate, right? It's so hard.
It is. It's a lot to deal with. And, your point about, how time passed so fast.
Yep.
Whenever I look at my phone, sometimes the old photos will come up. And I think, oh my gosh, how did my kids go from like this to this? So you kind of talked a lot about what parents face. It's a long day, they're juggling this and that. And this juggle, right, it's just the constant sensation of being interrupted, right? You're never fully present at work or at home. When I'm at home, I'm constantly checking my email. When I'm at work, I'm on WhatsApp, checking in with my kid's teacher or, just making sure I didn't get a call from the school. So, and you mentioned this, right? And what kind of ties all this together is guilt. Right? So the mom who stays late for the meeting misses bath time. If you go home early for bath time, you miss the meeting. And this sensation of you are never fully present in one place and you're also not enough in either place. And that guilt is just a constant. Is this something you feel as well?
For sure. It's really hard to be present, but I think people are more mindful now.
Yeah.
Like I will tell myself, I'm with the kids. So I will put my phone away. I think the phone is the device that needs to go away. Yeah, just put my phone away and I'll just hang out with them. But I think the problem is I'm still thinking. So if I'm playing with them, thinking, later what are we going to have for dinner? There are many times that I forgot to think about what we have for dinner. And when I am working, right, I tell myself, this is the task I need to accomplish today. So there are actually strategies to help with that. Like I will write on a piece of paper, like a sticky note and paste it there. So this is the write-up I need to do. And that's it. So sometimes we'll start opening many tabs, right? But I will look back. It's like a visual anchor. Okay, I still need to do this, so let's not get distracted. Or even phones, I do not disturb modes and all. So there are actually many little things that we can do. But I also think sometimes we end up like scrolling. It's a way for us to procrastinate and to avoid the difficult work.
Yeah.
Nobody finished scrolling and say, I feel rejuvenated. Let me start working,
true.
Right? We just want to avoid and it is probably very draining.
Yeah.
It makes us feel even worse. Because you just wasted 30 minutes on looking at other people's kids and what they cook for dinner, which vacations they go to.
And then I also end up buying something.
Exactly, right? And then buying, you need to compare prices, right? And then this Shopee, that Shopee. And then it is a lot. We go down this rabbit hole. We think that it's a way for us to escape.
But it's not really.
I don't think it's really serving us well.
Yeah. But what you do, that's a good tip, the writing down your priorities and saying, okay, when I'm away from the kids, this is what I have to accomplish. And also writing down something I feel like when you get it out of your head, when it's time to be with your kids, you can be present there. You're not thinking, I'm going to forget this, because you've already written it down, right?
Yes.
That helps me a lot.
So I have this shortcut app on the phone. So I created the shortcut app. So brain dump, I just type what I want, done. And it goes to this list of reminders. So that at night when I go back, after the kids are asleep, I go back to my computer and I look at what are the things I need to do.
I want to come back to the guilt, right? It's not just in our heads. So the data actually backs this up. I found some research, right, that actually shows that on days when mums work longer hours, they report feeling guiltier and they have more work-family conflict. And it's this accumulation of the small absences, and every single one of them costs you something. And at work, mums who take time off to do parenting things like doctor's appointment, a school concert, even just, ducking out early, picking the kids up, they are somehow perceived as being less competent, less committed to their work. From your experience or the parents you coach, what is the thing that usually gets sacrificed first, thrown out the window when the juggle just gets too heavy?
I think the self-care habits, sleep,
Yeah.
nutrition, time spent with the children,
Yeah.
right? Not taking care of ourselves mainly. Yeah, that was really hard for many parents. Social as well. They will forego the meet up with their friends because they need to be there for the work or the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is difficult because if you're not rested enough, then you also cannot provide and be the best version for your child. Yeah. But it's the easiest thing to just, I put other people's needs ahead of mine.
Yeah. I feel like I have to plan, dinners with my friends like a month or two in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still remember I have to forgo the dinners
Yeah.
or leave early
Someone is
because
sick.
my kids need to go to bed early.
Yeah.
At that point in time, my friends, they all don't have children. So now they have kids, but
Yeah.
I'm the one who can stay on because my kids are older. But they have
Yeah.
the young babies and they are the ones got to leave early, which I completely understand. So it's good if you can surround ourselves with like-minded parents who really get it. They don't judge you.
Good support system.
Yeah.
And, how do you advise other mums to kind of, deal with guilt? What can they do?
I think the feeling of guilt means that we care, that it is important to us. And if you don't feel guilty at all, it means you probably have given up. So I think it's good that the guilt is there, but we can use it as an opportunity to become better, right? Is there something else that you can do differently? Is there a little shift in your mindset that it's okay, I don't have to do it all? It's okay that my kids eat takeaways, eat McDonald's, it's fine. Like 1 meal in the entire week, that's fine. We cannot juggle everything. There's this analogy about the rubber balls and the glass balls. So you don't want to drop the glass balls because it's hard to mend, but the rubber balls will bounce back. So like laundry, it will bounce back.
Rubber for sure.
Rubber, right? Yeah. Like your kids, maybe mental health. That is a glass.
Yeah.
Your marriage is a glass. So it's okay that you don't juggle everything in the air. You can let the rubber balls bounce and you will still be able to live on with your life, right?
Yeah.
And at different seasons, some things may be rubber, some things may be glass.
Yeah.
And that's okay as well.
Yeah. That's a really great analogy. Yeah.
I will tell myself, let's say the house is in a mess.
Yeah.
That's the rubber ball.
Yeah. It's okay, my kids are happy.
Yeah, that's my mantra. That's a rubber ball.
Yeah.
Okay, close one eye and move on.
Yeah, we have no guests coming. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway, if I clean it up, you'll get messed up
Exactly,
again. So
right. Anyway,
what
wait for the
about
guests to come.
Exactly, yeah.
The day before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we can view it differently, we don't need to do it all. I know some parents think that they wear it as a badge of honor. I can do so much for my children. My kids can go to this class, that class. I can prepare home cooked meals every single time. My house is tidy. And anyway, I don't think about it. It's not really real. I don't think anyone can have it all, But if you do that, you have to ask ourselves, at what cost? What are you foregoing? Yeah, maybe your sleep, your interaction with your friends, right? Which is very important, when you're surrounded by community. Yeah, so we can question that narrative that we have to do everything in order to maintain our sanity.
Yes, for sure. And I mean, if we can, do all these things and say, wow, look, I'm doing all this, I have it all. But then sooner or later, something's got to give, right? It can turn into, resentment, burnout. You just can't do it for, forever.
Yeah, for sure. The burnout is very real. I mean, I've personally gone through burnouts before, because at that time when I first started the business, I was very enthusiastic, and that was COVID. So the kids are home. So I will work after they go to bed till midnight. So it's just past midnight every day just to make sure I can, pursue this coaching. And looking back, I kind of regret that part. It actually affected my health, and that is a glass ball that I dropped, which I probably won't do it that again.
Yeah. When you talk about all these balls in the air, right? I think what nobody warns you about when you become a mom, or at least nobody warned me, right, is the mental load, right? This endless planning, remembering, anticipating. And we all kind of experience it to some degree, right? Whether you stay at home or you work in the office, there's you just have to keep all these things running, the systems running, the appointments booked. And, studies again show that even in households where both parents work, women carry a disproportionate share of this invisible labor. And, you talked about having all the tabs open. That's what it's like in our brains, right? And so I have to ask, is there always a default parent? And what does being that default parent cost us?
I think it's real. Like there will be a default parent. What does it cost us? Probably the relationship we have with our children if we don't manage our own mental state. The relationship we have with our spouse.
Yeah.
Because if all you talk about every day is about rushing them to bed or cleaning up after they're done, that's the childhood that your kids are going to have. They're always talking about like problems, the negativity, but they don't see the good that you're doing. Then it's going to affect the relationship. Yeah. It's hard not to be the default parent.
As a mom?
Yeah, as a mom, I feel. Because traditionally, we are the primary caregiver, right? And fathers are the one who bring in the income. With that in mind, but now more women are also bringing in the income, right? Can you imagine we're taking on more roles and more responsibilities?
Yeah, correct. A lot more women these days have demanding jobs, but still are the default parent because that's what society is used to, maybe. And I guess all our systems are designed that way.
Yeah. So even like Parents Gateway, which is the app that the primary school kids use, right? I will make my husband have a login. I'm not going to be the only one to know what activities they have, what forms I need to fill up, how I need to key in their MC, right? I would say you can do it. You have the app, or even Class Dojo. I'll make sure he has an account. So we may not totally let go of being the default parent, but we can delegate it to our partners. The way we do it is also important, because if we tell them the things to do, like the task, the onus is still on us to think about the task, right? So I've changed that. I would tell my husband, you are in charge of milk and bread. So I'm not going to check the refrigerator if there's milk. Because you're in charge.
Yes.
I'm not in charge, right? It's different versus I check and tell him, can you go get milk? So it's another tab that I have to open, right? I have to go and check the refrigerator. Yeah. So that's a strategy I think we can try to delegate it by letting your partner be responsible for the load and less of the individual task. Yeah, I think that is little things that we can do to move away from being the default parent. Yeah, I don't think we can totally let go. I mean, kids are usually closer to their mums because maybe we breastfeed them, we're, the physical touch with them. I mean, we were carrying them, right, for 9 months.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when my husband is right there,
Yeah.
they will leave the room, come and find me wherever I am and say, oh, Mama, can I, have this or that? Or where is my... And I'm like, he's
your
right
father is
there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but that's a good tip, giving your partner things to be in charge of instead of me, guilty, making a list and then saying, here is your list and I'll give a deadline.
Yeah, because you still need to check the list, right?
Exactly, and I need to make sure it's done. And
Yeah.
so half the time I'm like, you know what, you're busy, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then I feel like you're not helping when I didn't really ask for what I needed, right? So that's
I think
that's
a lot
tricky one.
of husbands want to help, but they don't know how.
And they're like, you tell me how to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I have to tell you, it's just
it's
another
not helping,
task.
it's not counted. Whatever
Yeah,
you do is not counted.
So they have to know what they have to do, like the husbands. Maybe at the start, we have to handhold a bit, what does it mean to make sure that the room is tidy? Oh, it means that the books got to be a bit on the shelf, the dirty clothes got to be in the basket. Maybe they don't even know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we got to spell it out. So a lot of patience with the partners as well, if you really want them to be the default parent. So I have this funny, because I have two friends who are husband and wives, we're a clique.
Yeah.
And the husband always joke, I clean the sink. She said I didn't clean it well enough. So it feels like we have certain expectations of our partners to do certain things, but maybe we don't need to have such high expectations. Like they are really still trying to help, right? I mean, think about it from the husband point of view. I'm really doing it and you're not happy with the way I do it, then you do it yourself lah.
That's so true though. I feel a bit attacked. Oops. The delegating is a skill.
Yep.
And also the expectations part, if you delegate something, you have to be okay with the way they do it. It's their way. You can't,
Yeah. So we have to let go a bit as well. If we
Which is
don't
hard.
let go,
Yeah.
we will always be the default. Because no one else can meet your standards.
Yeah. I'm like, my standard's not that high.
I guess to them it's not normal.
Yeah.
Or it's not how they grow up. I mean, that's why now when we guide our boys, we make sure that they do it well. With all the chores and taking
Future
care.
partner will thank us. Yeah. And it just made me think about your point earlier that, becoming a mom really makes you reflect on your own upbringing. It's so much inner work because, your kids, their behavior is telling you something, right? But sometimes you get so triggered by it. And that is more about you than them. So there's so much inner work going on here. And, just learning things. And growing together also as a couple in terms of this delegating, accepting that you have your way of doing things. And so much of this is I want to say, brought from your own upbringing. Just so many things to get through. So we can talk about it, laugh about it, but actually it's real work as a couple to form this, equal partnership and not have everything done by the mum, which is also maybe how a lot of us were brought up.
I have coached couples as well, and very heartening to see the husband being able to share his vulnerabilities, how he was growing up.
That's very brave.
Yeah, and the wife was there listening as well. So I think if we can get people to talk, share more, it feels more normalized that, okay, it is hard, we're all trying, we give ourselves more compassion, and even though the duties are still disproportionate, but at least it is something that the husbands are more open to take on. Because if no one talks about it, then
everyone will feel like it's only me. But actually, the moment you say something, everyone's like, me too.
Yeah.
I also feel the same way. And it helps also to have a community, right? Or a supportive group of friends, or joining a community like yours, for example, where parents can meet each other. And I guess for men, it's very difficult to form that bond.
Yeah, so just yesterday, 2 days ago, I had this book club sharing with my members. Then there were two husbands who came. Yeah, and the ladies were like, so how do you do it? How do you get your husband to come and all? So it was funny, but the guy will say, oh, she asked me to come. But they contribute. They are, in fact, they are the ones who share a lot of insights that we can all learn from. I was just telling you just now, the father said that his duty is to put his 3 girls to sleep every night.
Wow.
From birth till now. Yeah. I'm like,
wow.
But then if it's normalized, right, dads can put their kids to sleep.
Exactly. You just need to give them the chance, right?
Yeah. So if we are very critical about how they do it, then, it comes back to us again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long as they're asleep,
yeah,
I don't care how you did it. Yeah. And, just talking about this marriage, parenthood thing. So recently, Minister Indrani Raja, she heads a marriage and parenthood work group. She specifically mentioned women when talking about taking a career detour to care for children. What do you think of this?
I think it's a personal choice. Nowadays, more and more women, they're well educated and they want to pursue their own career, right? That gives them that huge sense of purpose, achievement. So it probably is not so straightforward. Yeah. And even if they are, and especially if they're not ready, we also don't want them to, be home when they're not in a good mental state, right? So in fact, there are some parents who work to get, their sanity, they feel good, then they can come back and be a better parent for their kid.
That's me.
Yeah. So it's, I don't think it's that straightforward. Yeah.
And also it doesn't always have to be the moms, right?
Yeah.
The dads do it. So many dads do it. I mean, I think even between me and my husband, he'd make a great stay-at-home dad. He is very patient, very loving, whereas I find it a bit difficult to be fully present the entire day.
I think if we can afford to give a bit more flexibility in dad's work, they can work from home.
Yeah.
It can make a lot of difference for the mom to just know that he will be there. Maybe he's not doing anything, but the fact that he's going to be around during bedtime actually relieves a lot of pressure. Not like I'm the only one to do it. Recently, there was a reel about this influencer who carried a baby wear, and people were like so amazed. But actually, there's nothing to be there's nothing big about that. Like dads do that. If we can really normalize it, then moms and dads all baby wear. I mean, I see a lot now, on the streets that the dads will carry the baby and push the pram and be in charge, and it is their duty. It's part of it. We don't
Pram
need to glamorize
pusher.
it. Yeah, we don't need to glamorize it like, wow, this dad does it.
Exactly. I mean, my husband had to baby wear because we had 2, right? But it just things like, he packs a diaper bag. Wow, amazing dad. Or like, he made breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, where did you find this man? It's normal.
Standards are so low.
Exactly. You're like, oh my gosh, you fed the baby, well done. Yes, we should applaud them maybe, but it's also, this is what you do.
Yeah.
You are a dad.
Yeah.
This is your child.
It's your responsibility.
Yeah. And I think, society, workplaces, culture, just, you have to kind of catch up to that at some point to, create that equal partnership.
So if the workplace can support families, I think it will really create a lot of relief.
For sure.
For the staff.
This marriage and parenthood reset work group, they do have some, big ambitions to change not just policies but also culture as a whole. Do you think it's possible to change that feeling where getting pregnant in the workplace is a big deal?
It takes a lot of mindset shift in the companies,
Yeah.
the workplace. I know that my members will tell me, I'm pregnant. Oh, how? Right?
How?
Yeah, how? So then they struggle because then do I stay on? Or sometimes their work is at risk, right? Yeah, so I feel it's quite challenging for us to have that shift. But slowly, bit by bit, if some companies can start, to promote that, then hopefully it influences the others.
You talked a bit about ambition. Did becoming a mother change your relationship with ambition?
At that point in time, it was a conscious choice that I forego ambition for motherhood. Along the way, I realized that I'm not that kind where I can stay at home and do nothing.
Yeah.
So I figured it out myself, and I created this job, so-called, for myself. And then I challenged myself to try to so-called balance it. And yeah, so after that, it was just as it goes. Yeah. So I feel like sometimes we have to make a hard choice, but it also doesn't mean that's the end, like things can happen after
Yes,
that. There are a lot
exactly.
of mothers who left, and now they are little entrepreneurs on their own. They set up their small businesses so that they can also be there for their children in the afternoon. In fact, my team are all mothers who have young kids. So we work in the morning, and when we have to pick the kids, we have to pick the kids. Yeah, understand. We're all picking our kids now. But sometimes there's an emergency, then we say, okay, I'll cover you because I know, your child is sick, and completely understand. Yeah, so I think we create a very, very assuring environment that we understand you, and it helps. Yeah,
That's so important, moms supporting moms.
exactly. Yeah.
And this thing about ambition, I said when I got pregnant, I was so angry, right? I always wanted to be a mom, always. But I thought, I'm not ready yet. I want to work. I want to get my career in order. And, this is not according to my timeline. I did not plan this. Why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
But that ambition, I think, shifted for me. Now success looks a lot different. Success is doing something I love and then being able to go home to my kids. Maybe last time pre-kids, I felt I was a lot more ambitious. I wanted to be the boss. I wanted to be an editor. Whereas, now it's different. That is not success to me. It's doing my job and then going home and having these two little people.
Yep.
So it just kind of reframed ambition for me, I think, becoming a mom.
That's a really good point. Like, success looks different now that you're a parent. I really like the point of how you are there for the kid. I think for me, success is that I can pick the kids, I can put them to bed, right? Although it's sometimes, very exhausting. But I really treasure that little moment when I'm just lying beside my kid. And then they will start telling me a lot of things, right?
They have a lot to say.
Lots to say at bedtime, right? Yeah. But I feel that it's so precious. Your kid is confiding in you about everything that they feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the fundamental of a good relationship, right? A trusting relationship.
Yeah, for sure. And I read that, your kids can tell you the little things now.
Yeah.
They will be able to tell you the big things later.
Yes.
And every time, I'm asked, are witches real? Are dinosaurs real?
Oh.
Is there a monster under my bed? They ask you these things. They're opening up, right, in their own way.
So we're thinking a lot, right? On one hand, we want it. On the other hand, we're so tired. But
Exactly.
yeah, this dilemma.
Yeah. Okay, we've spent a lot of time today talking about how incredibly difficult motherhood is. And I really hope we aren't putting people off becoming parents. It's amazing, wonderful. Wouldn't change it for the world. Let's end on a high note. Can you tell me your worth it moment?
Okay, so I will teach my kids emotion regulation skills, something we talk about daily. Then sometimes my daughter will look at the things that I do, right? And then one day she came back and she said, Mama, the teacher taught us about this, emotion regulation, but I already know because you always teach me. So I'm like, oh, okay. So she is there, right? Listening. There are moments where I feel like I failed, but there are also times that I think I did well and it stuck with her. And that gives me a lot of comfort. Yeah, knowing that she is really learning a lot from me. She sees me as a role model. And then even for my son, the word it is No, he's already 12, but he wants me to pop out, carry him, hug him.
That's so sweet.
I think it's worth it lah. Like knowing that you are the world to them, even though they are inching up into adolescence and different world out there, but there's still home that they can count on. Yeah, so I think it's worth it lah.
Yeah. I think while motherhood, has made my life harder, right, in many ways, it's also made it so much more meaningful. And like you, my worth it moment is also in the small moments, right? It's not one big thing, but every day when I get home from work, I walk through the door and the boys, both of them, they drop whatever they're doing and they run to me and they kind of launch themselves at me. And, they hug me, they grab my hand, they want to, oh, Mama, come, I want to show you this. And it's in these moments, I guess, I feel such an overwhelming sense of, I need you, I've been waiting for you. And this is this little family that you've created, right? The smallest things remind you of that. No matter how exhausting or heavy the day has been, that's makes me feel like, oh, this is so worth it.
Sometimes when they hug you, right, you're the one who needs the hug.
Exactly.
Not them. Yeah.
Sometimes I just, I hold on to them
tight,
and they're like,
tight.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I read this quote on the blog many, many years ago about a pair of grandparents, elderly, watching a young couple with their kids, and the two elderly said, "Ooh, those are the days." And so this couple heard it. The lady, she was like, "These are the days. That moment, these are the days. So why do we want to, wait? These are the days. Let's just fully be present for our children and enjoy them for who they are." These are choices that we make, and we don't need to be perfect. We don't need them to do whatever everyone else is doing.
Yeah, this point about choice, I think a lot of parents, moms maybe especially, feel like I'm working hard so that I can my kids have everything. I'm going to put them in all the sports, all the classes, and this is my way of making sure they succeed.
Yep.
But that's a very interesting point, that it doesn't have to look like this, and you can feel empowered to make that choice for maybe the child you have and their interests, and not what you hope.
Not for them to fulfill your dreams.
Exactly.
We don't need the kids to be our KPI.
For sure, yeah.
Right. It doesn't mean that if your kids score well means you are a good parent, because I think there are a lot more sacrifices. If you're dropping some glass balls, then that's not something you want to be proud of, right? So, and I think a lot of parents forget that they have to take care of themselves first, right? Your kids deserve the best of you, not what's left of you.
Correct.
Yeah. So you don't be afraid to say no, right? Spend time on yourself. Exercise, eat well, sleep well. When you can be the best version of yourself for the children, they also see and model, and you get to model how they should take care of themselves.
To wrap up today's conversation, working mums in Singapore are doing something incredibly hard. We are navigating careers in a high-pressure, high-cost city while raising kids in a culture that has super high expectations. And we carry this huge mental load because that's what we were taught to do, or at least what we think we should do. Whether you go to an office every day or you work at home, I just want to tell you that you are doing a great job, even if it doesn't feel like it today. The juggle is real, yes, but so is the joy and so is the love. Jacinth, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.